Let's look at what's included with your Cycle House Q5 intakes. You should have 2 large intake housing units, 4 slash-cut tubes, 2 bags of hardware, one labeled L, one R, and a small bag with 8 1mm set screws. To complete this job, you'll need a 5/8 inch wrench, a Phillips screwdriver, a 1mm, a 4mm, and 5mm Allen wrench, a 10mm socket with ratchet, and 2 bowls for parts. To make things easier, go ahead and empty the packets of the 2 parts bags marked L and R into the appropriately labeled bowls for left and right. Using a 4mm Allen wrench, remove the 5 bolts that hold the airbox cover to the air filter housing unit. Set the cover aside and remove the air filter. Now, use a 5mm Allen wrench to remove the 4 bolts that hold the air filter tray to the mounting base. Insert the 4 1mm set screws as shown and screw them in until they're flush with the little flange, but don't go farther than that. The set screws are used to hold the slash-cut intake tubes in place. Now you're ready to insert the slash-cut intake tubes and use the set screws tightened to hold those in place. Now you'll notice I put them in upside down the first time. I had to loosen the set screws, turn them 180 degrees, and now they look correct. So tighten everything down, get all the tubes in place. Next you can go ahead and install the breather tube adapter, and you can just screw it in place by hand. It'll only go one place. There's only one place that has threads large enough, so you'll figure that out. And basically hand tighten it and then use a 5/8 inch wrench to tighten it down further. What we should have right now are 2 mounting bases with the breather tube adapters installed as shown. Now these are the parts that are going to install on the bike. And we should have 2 air filter trays. This is where the air filter element actually sits, and this is the middle piece. And then on top of that, we're going to install the air box covers, and they should have the slash-cut tubes installed as shown. Now we're ready to remove your factory air cleaner on the right side of the bike. Using a 4mm Allen wrench, remove the 2 bolts as shown on the right side of the bike. The airbox should come free from the main air hose, and you'll notice a breather tube attached. You will need to use the clamp and move it so that you can remove that breather hose. Use a Phillips screwdriver to completely loosen the hose clamp on the main air inlet hose. Use a 10mm socket to remove the 2 factory mounting brackets. We're not going to need these. Install the adapter mounting bracket from the R bowl for the right side to one of the mounting bases as shown. Connect the breather hose to the adapter and use the clamp to secure. Now you're ready to install the air hose over the mounting base, and then make sure you tighten the hose clamp so that it doesn't come loose. And you may have to fiddle with that rubber hose to get it over the opening in the base, but it will go over eventually. Now you're ready to install the mounting base using a spacer and one of the 5mm bolts to the front cylinder, and then you repeat the same process for the top of the rear cylinder through the mounting bracket we installed earlier. Use the 5mm Allen to tighten. Install the air filter tray to the mounting base as shown using 4 of the 5mm Allen bolts. Remove the air filter element from the shrink wrap and install in the tray. Now, put the airbox cover on top and secure in place with 5 of the 4mm Allen bolts as shown. installation on the left side of the bike is virtually identical to the right side. Removing the stock air cleaner is the same. The thing to remember is use the longer spacer and the longer bolt as shown on the front cylinder. It sets out farther than it does on the right side of the bike. Everything else is virtually identical.